up? It's your girl Anna Talks Wrestling here. If you're new, welcome to my channel. Lace up your boots, hit the subscribe and like button, and let's get ready to dive deep into everything pro wrestling. So let's talk about the second episode of Monday Night Raw on Netflix and why I rated it what I did, and that's a solid 8.4 out of 10. Now, I know this is much higher than my rating of Raw's debut on Netflix, so should this second episode have been more of what Raw's debut on Netflix should have been? Yes, absolutely. But you know what? Sometimes less is just more. This second episode was about a half hour shorter than the first episode, but it was much better because this was created for the hardcore wrestling fans instead of just the casuals or for new viewership. I was not expecting Penta to debut so soon in the show. I expected him to come towards the end. So you know what? I am so happy WWE started off the show with a banger. And can I just say, Penta's match with Chad Gable was absolutely phenomenal. Those two killed it in the ring. And we gotta put some more respect on Chad Gable's name. There is a reason WWE chose him to be Penta's first match. And that man deserves something big next, something like the Money in the Bank. And Penta, oh my goodness, he absolutely killed it on the mic. And to see him finally get that moment on one of the biggest stages of them all, hearing him on that mic with Cero Miedo, it's not just the Netflix era, it is the Penta new era. It was probably one of the best debuts we've had in a very long time. I'm excited to see what's next for him. He's definitely got to be a Royal Rumble number for sure. But as far as what's next for him, I'm really unsure where WWE might be going to take him, who he's going to feud with. Maybe they'll have Finn Balor, the Demon, come back to feud with Penta. Just think about those two characters. That would be absolutely epic, and they would put on a great match. And I would 100% want to see those two characters facing each other. And can we just talk about how Penta would not be where he is today without AEW? AEW is who brought Penta under the spotlight, and fans got to know him because of AEW. So we need these other competitions out there to bring other stars under the spotlight where WWE might not be able to because they have so many people on their roster. So thanks to AEW, we had one of the greatest debuts there ever could be, and that was Penta. And speaking of Finn, he had a street fight with Damian Priest. And can I just say that match was actually pretty good. I know everybody wanted that storyline to end because it's been running a little bit too long. It's ran its course. It needed something big to end it. Now, could this have been the best, most epic ending they could have ever had? No, absolutely not. They should have had Finn Balor win the Money in the Bank and had him cash in on Damian Priest back when Damian Priest was holding the World Heavyweight Championship. However, WWE fell short on this. They dropped the ball of where they could have made one of the best feuds ever. This really could have brought out the best storylines of the year. That being said, the win at the end with Damian Priest didn't feel as exciting as it should have been. It was just more of a sense of relief that hopefully this feud is finally over. And that's not how it should have felt between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. I really think they did not do the best they can with them. I just feel like WWE does not know what to do with Damian Priest, one, and they're honestly just kind of burying Finn Balor. And that's exactly why I think they should have Finn Balor turn back to the Demon and bring him back up, because yes, he has done great in the Judgment Day, but they are not giving the best use out of him anymore with that. So they need to do something different, and what better way than bringing the Demon back? I mean, bring it back at the Royal Rumble. How epic would that be? As far as Damian Priest goes, personally, I would like to see them capitalize on the Terror Twins more. Essentially have them become a power couple. I feel like they're not using that the best they could. Maybe they could have Damian Priest feud with someone like Braun Breaker, or even Ludwig. You know, that could help Ludwig out a lot. It's just like, I really don't know what they're doing with Damian Priest, and I don't think they know what to do with him. Like, he had one of the best storylines ever going for him, and then he just had a massive drop. For what reason? I have no idea. Now, this episode had a significant better start off than Rock's promo and being all corporate on Raw's debut on Netflix, because they had CM Punk announced that he's entering the Royal Rumble, everybody wants to see CM Punk win a Royal Rumble for the first time ever. Not only was his promo completely captivating, but then they had Seth freaking Rollins come out to interrupt him. So that definitely confirms that the storyline between CM Punk and Seth Rollins is not yet over, which of course makes it interesting to see that Seth Rollins also announced that he'll be entering the Rumble as well. So I'm wondering if Rollins might screw CM Punk out of a victory at the Royal Rumble to lead up to their WrestleMania match between those two. And again, I definitely think it should be a main event because CM Punk still needs to get that main event at WrestleMania too. What better way than to have Seth freaking Rollins eliminate CM Punk at the Royal Rumble, taking away his chance at his first ever Royal Rumble win, 1, and 2, in this moment, it feels like taking away his chance at a WrestleMania main event. But again, they will lead up to a main event at WrestleMania. This is how I think this storyline should definitely go. The feud between Seth freaking Rollins and CM Punk is far from over. And I'm not sure if you guys seen Seth Rollins interviews outside of WWE, but the feud definitely feels a little too real with him and CM Punk. So that's exactly why they should have a WrestleMania main event. This has been going on for years and years outside of just the ring. Then we had Drew McIntyre interrupt them as well. And of course, Drew was complaining that no one wants to stand up against Roman Reigns, who is also, interesting enough, officially a part of the Royal Rumble, as Paul Heyman announced on Friday Night SmackDown. So at first I thought, okay, maybe we're going to get a potential triple threat between CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. However, I've now shifted towards a potential between Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns having a match at WrestleMania. And the way I could see this happening is essentially Drew McIntyre screwing Roman Reigns out of a victory at the Royal Rumble. Now, I do think there's a potential for this to be a huge match. I mean, Drew is an ultimate justified heel. And then we have Roman Reigns, the original tribal chief. He's won the fans over for the most part. So I definitely can see this being a potential for a WrestleMania match. That is, of course, if The Rock is not wrestling. But if The Rock is wrestling, I still don't think he should face Roman Reigns yet. He should face Cody Rhodes. So Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania is a huge potential still. So keep an eye out now when we are watching the Royal Rumble on who eliminates Roman Reigns and who eliminates Drew McIntyre. How this episode of Raw could have had a higher rating if and only if we didn't have Nia Jax come out to face Rhea Ripley. Now, I know she was just announcing her entry into the Royal Rumble, but do we really need to see any more of Nia Jax? I'm sorry, but they need to do something better with her, and I think her time is just up. But mind you, she has done much better now than she used to, but I don't care to see her come after another title again. And honestly, I think Rhea Ripley could have a much better face-off on the second night of Raw after she won her title back. Now, we did have Bayley come out to interrupt Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley, which made things a little better. But to be honest, there could have been a better women's segment. I mean, Liv Morgan didn't even come out. She did have a backstage segment with Dom making up to her, which was just pretty funny. You know, I do love when Raw puts out those funny moments. So I can't complain too much, but I definitely think the women's division is definitely lacking. But as far as what's next for Rhea, I really see them trying to have all the women come out saying they're entering into the Rumble to come after her title. And she'll probably just be cutting promos until then to watch all the women at the Rumble. And then hopefully we get a legit Royal Rumble winner. And I'm hoping maybe a surprise, a return from the man, Becky Lynch. We might even get a return from the queen herself. Yes, Charlotte Flair at the Royal Rumble. But we've already seen a feud between Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. So I feel if that's not captivating enough. But what could be interesting is if they put Charlotte in a title picture, but not a world title. A title instead that made its debut last night, making it a title that she's never held before. So putting her as a contender for that would 100% make it more prestigious. So yes, that means she won't be winning the Royal Rumble. This would then force her to turn to a title she could get her hands on. So that means we would put her against the first ever women's Intercontinental Intercontinental Champion that was crowned last night, Lyra Valkyria. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if Lyra winning it did much for the women's division. I'm sorry to say, but maybe there's something there I'm missing. I'm not sure. I'm just hoping we can get more out of her with that title by putting someone like Charlotte Flair in the picture. But I could also see them putting it maybe with Io Sky or Raquel in the picture instead. But again, that would not add much value to that title, which I do think should be their main focus by putting Charlotte Flair against Lyra Valkyria next. So that could take some time to build up. So they could put Lyra against Liv Morgan, because Liv Morgan can't go after Rhea Ripley anymore. I mean, that feud's ran its course. So maybe that could be next, and that would 100% add value to that title. Either way, I'm super thrilled that they added a mid-card title to the women's division, and that is the Intercontinental Championship, and then recently the United States Championship with Chelsea Green. I mean, they're definitely trying to make efforts to make the women's division better and to hopefully bring up more stars in the future. So let's mention Jey Uso's promo. He is absolutely underrated on the mic, and I'm 100% for the feud between him and Gunther. And I really think Gunther should no longer be having that title. I won't be upset if Jey Uso takes it off of him, to be honest. I think that would bring Jey Uso to the next level. And again, I think Gunther has already held the title for too long. I just don't know if WWE will give it to Jey Uso over Gunther. I could be wrong, because he did just beat Drew McIntyre, which was huge for him, as his star power is pretty undeniable with the whole yeet and everything. Jey Uso should definitely be winning that title from Gunther. That being said, I do think Jey Uso will 100% be entering the Royal Rumble. I mean, once his music hits, you know the crowd's gonna go wild. So they will have him enter the Royal Rumble. Win the Royal Rumble? No chance. Which again sets up a good feud between him and Gunther, so Jey can have some momentum going, even though he loses the Royal Rumble. This would also make room for Jey to have his own name. I mean, he's already kind of going up there, but instead of being in the shadow of Roman Reigns and the bloodline, this definitely opens up a huge potential for him to hit the next level, and they should 100% do it. That's one thing I think WWE is definitely lacking. I think they're so hyper-focused on the superstars that they already have made instead of focusing on bringing up more stars. And that's something I do think AEW does a little bit better. They try to bring up younger guys and they give them opportunity, where I think WWE starts to stay so focused on the guys that have already made it, and then also trying to keep a title on them for too long. Like having The Rock, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, John Cena. This is great and all, but eventually their time's gonna be up. They need to focus on the younger stars coming up as well. I don't think they're completely ignoring the younger stars. I mean, they do have Braun Breaker, they have Trick, they're trying to bring Carmelo up. They are definitely trying. I just would like to see a little bit more effort towards that. When they have a guy holding a title for over a year, that's a little too much, and you're essentially taking the opportunity away. Now, don't get me wrong, I know that the titles are super valuable and prestigious. I understand that not just anybody could hold it. I just would like to see more unpredictability from them, right? I don't want to go into a PLE knowing, okay, this guy's not losing his title, or this guy's gonna hold it forever. I don't want to see that anymore. I want to be on my toes a little bit, thinking oh my gosh, are they finally gonna put this guy over, and then actually do it. That being said though, I did absolutely love Monday Night Raw. I think they killed it. That's exactly what us hardcore wrestling fans deserve. That is how Monday Night Raws used to be. So I'm super thrilled to see that they are making moves with this new Netflix era. which is why my rating was much higher for the second episode of Raw on Netflix versus their first episode and their debut on Netflix. So good job to them, props to them. I'm super thrilled and excited to see what's next and how they're going to lead up to the Royal Rumble, because there is a lot of potentials. We have CM Punk, we have Drew McIntyre, we have John Cena, we have Seth freaking Rollins, we have Roman Reigns. There are so many guys that could win this Royal Rumble. So we are definitely waiting in anticipation to see what's going to happen. And the predictions are just going to be so much fun. That leaves me with my rating on Monday Night Raw. If you enjoyed this video here, please like and subscribe for more wrestling content with your girl Anna here.